Hello and welcome to this Thursday's live Kriegspiel game. We are doing a completely fictional scenario, red versus blue, with some fun twists involving Swense's cat. Um, so I am here with Matey. He is in charge of 3rd Division at the head of the column. You've been It's 10 a.m. You've been marching all morning for about 3 hours. And your head of your column's about 9 miles from Prague to the southwest. So far, you've not run into the enemy at all. And what are your orders?
Okay, let me just think for a quick second. I'm just looking at the map.
Hmm.
All right, so my orders would be to have the dragoons at the front of the line, like a screen, and forge out ahead in like a sort of southwestern direction along the road as described in the plan,
Yeah.
and to look for any enemy, enemy forces, and if any are encountered, basically to retreat back to HQ and report the situation. Otherwise, the column is to continue advancing, forward.
Okay.
Though perhaps it would be wise to have the division head be behind the first infantry brigade.
Yeah, we can do that.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. All right, Chinleaf. Hello. So, your 2nd Division has been marching behind Tubaleki's 5th. At the very moment, you're in Selakowitz, passing through that small town. You've got the River Elbe just to the north of you, flowing by. Um, no contact with the enemy so far, and you estimate you're currently about 16 miles from Prague. What are your orders, Chinleaf?
Keep marching along the designated path in the channel, the blue path
Okay.
through the north.
By the way, Swense just said if Tubaleki doesn't show, which he hasn't yet, you are to command the 5th as well. So I'm going to move your icon up to where his is. So you're at the head of the whole column,
Okay.
just so you know. And if he shows up, then you'll go back to yours. Alright.
Is this map custom made?
No, it came from Arcanum. Alright, thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
I have orders on Swense to just move westerly along the road, follow the convoy. Should I AI Sebastian, or did he?
He said he was going to command 6th unless Sebastian showed up. Now Sebastian was supposed to. They were going to split in two, with some of them heading this way, but he said he wanted to follow the column.
Swense said he gave orders to follow westerly, follow along the road, the column ahead.
Okay, I'll just do that then.
What's their movement range? I've only done a Totski system.
So we're doing a half hour, and they go about mile and a half in a turn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And each grid is
Each grid is
how much?
a tenth of a mile. So 10 grids would
Tenth
be
of a mile.
1 mile.
10 grids, 1 mile. Perfect. Thank you.
Alright. We're missing everyone on. Oh, did you get your orders, Maurice, for Slock and
I
Skolgan?
Yes, I got my orders from both of them, Slok and Skullgun.
Are they moving at all, or?
Yeah, so Skullgun takes his division and the foot artillery that has been assigned to him, and he wants to march in line towards the northeast. to the city of, I think, Unterpersnitz, he said. Yep, this one.
Oh, just there?
Yep.
Alright.
And then stop there. He didn't want to go further.
Alright.
But I think he wants to face northeast.
That's fine. They're on their way.
All right. Okay, and then I think the wagons are also with him because they stick with the artillery, I suppose.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then Slocky remains control, keeps control of the hussars, and he wants to be himself personally on that TZ-158 hill, which I think is between Oberpressnitz and the little town of Bavala or something, whatever that's called. And the hussars are supposed to go double time all the way to Oberpressnitz, scouting, not engaging. If engaging, they want to supposed to return to the commander.
Okay, we can do that. This was the hill you wanted to go on to? The one that was southwest of it?
Say it again?
This was the hill you wanted to go on?
Yeah, he said TZ-158. I guess it's this little hill, yeah, not the big hill to the right, because that would be maybe too far forward.
Yeah, we can move on.
I think that's the better hill, yeah.
Alright. Just waiting for everyone else to show.
And one question, the grid I see, is that the grid that's like the folding marks on the map here? Is that
No.
like 1 mile?
No, that's a vestige of that original map. If you hold down tab, you can see the grid.
XDX is still AFK, so I'm just going to do Naval's stuff for the time being.
Okay. Alright, let me...
I think he posted some text orders in his chat.
Did he? I didn't see them.
Yeah,
Unless
said he
you
was
Here,
gone for a bit.
I have their plan.
Head east,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, there we go. If not east is far. Okay, that's simple.
So just going east.
So can I have that shortcut again for getting the grid on the map?
Hold down tab,
Yep.
Tab?
Tab.
the tab key.
And then I get a ruler.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not showing the grid. It's invisible. But if you hold down tab, it measures according to it. Or you can use this ruler here if it helps you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the ruler is in inches, so is 1 inch 1 mile, or?
This ruler right here is a mile long.
You can change the measurement that you use with the ruler, switch it to grid, and every 10 grids is a mile.
So now I'm showing the grid. You can see it on the map, but I'm going to hide it. So every little square is 1/10 of a mile.
Oh, Navy let me know that with the player module, he was able to see what he thought was Blue's order of battle.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
When do we send them screenshots?
As soon as all the movement's done.
Okay.
So, Nero, they moved way too fast. If they were here, they should be like this far, still going down the road. No worries. And one thing I failed to mention, if they're changing formation or like starting from rest, something that would take a little while to just get going, I usually half the movement just to reflect the delay and getting orders out and all that. So, okay, I think everyone.
XDX said they're back.
So Slock and Delta are going to see these dragoons, obviously, and Yeet.
Yep.
I don't think anyone else is seeing anything.
How do you limber up the artillery? What's the button for that?
L button.
Flip it over, and
okay.
you just click on the L as well.
Ah, perfect. Oh.
Undo.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Don't touch anything. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to delete our names. Remember who you got.
Yep.
So whoever had Slock last turn, I will take care of them this turn.
Yeah, because he's with Delta now.
Got it.
Waiting to get on the road.
Alright, so now do your screenshot. So it was 10, now it's 10:30, so make sure to Say 10:30, and then make sure your screenshots are with the north always to the top, so it's not disorienting. So whoever your people are, and if
In
you
the
have
north is
up
up based on
the
where
words.
the text is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So
Quick question. How many on my ruler? Like, how far am I? What number am I looking for how far on the screenshot?
They about a
Visibility?
mile and a half to 2, but if there's hills or terrain or woods, then that would limit it.
Yeah.
And the ruler on the left was a 1 mile marker, right? That's 1 mile ruler.
Yep.
Did I get that right? Okay.
So just a mile out.
Oh,
That's 10:30, right?
copy and 10:30. And then XTX.
Alright, I'm gonna go get my orders. Alright, matey. Are you
Yep.
there? Hello.
How's the situation?
Alright, so you continue marching southwest. You're about to pass by the small town of Radonitz at the moment. Your dragoons have galloped on ahead. There you can see, or maybe you can see their dust anyway, but they're at satellites. To the south, you can see enemy hussars in the town of Oberposernitz. And you get a dispatch back from your dragoons that they can spot an enemy column of infantry marching to the south of them, about heading east, about less than a mile away. And they also see enemy dragoons in the town of Kbel, Kbel, to their west, about a half mile to their west. No, about a mile to their west.
An enemy, like what, dragoons at Cable?
Yeah, enemy cavalry at Kbel.
Okay, what I would do is that I should, have the dragoons hold position at Radowitz, have the first light, infantry march up and try to reach them as fast as possible. Have the second light infantry march along with the horse artillery and protect it along with my division command as we, march up to Salowitz. And if, and as for the dragoons, either stay in Radowitz, or if the enemy dragoons come and try to take out my divisional command from the north, then they are to intercept. And I am to send a dispatch to the 2nd Division and relay it across the line of enemy contact, south near House.
Yeah, so any dispatches you write in your text channel, and those will get forwarded. So you got to actually write it yourself to whoever you want it to go to. So let me get this straight. First light is heading to Salatitz, as well as your whole division, basically.
Yep, but the rest of the division is to the 2nd light is to take care of the horse artillery and the divisional command so it doesn't get decapitated.
Okay. Got it.
Alright.
Thank you. Alright, Chinleaf. You continue following behind 3rd Division. Not much else to report so far. I assume you're just going to keep following.
There's a lot of movement for one turn.
There's a half hour. You moved about a mile and a half.
So I believe I'm with 5th then.
Oh yeah, that's why it's a lot of movement. So you're at the head of 5th column, so you're right behind 3rd now, and then 5th and your 2nd column stretch out behind you.
I assume that I'm gonna have to take over the 5th because Tubaleki isn't here.
Yeah, so you got 2 divisions now.
Well, just continue falling behind the third. There's nothing in sight. If the enemy does pop up, we'll just form up behind the third, and that's about it.
Okay.
That clear enough?
Yep, I got it. Thank you. I forgot about the cat last turn. I can't believe it.
Question?
Yep.
The Hussar, is that part of mine, or is that someone else's piece?
Who do you have?
I'm pink on Swense. I'm like circling my stuff right now.
I'm looking. Yeah, those Hussars report to Swense.
Okay, cool. Thank you. They are just moving up the road, and then the Dragoon is scouting ahead. They will go. Oh, thank you.
So I rolled to swipe the nearest unit. I think the Dragoons are gonna get swiped.
Dragoon advanced east, scout ahead of the column. East. Does he mean his east?
Who gave that order?
Swense,
Swense?
Dragoon, advanced east to scout. These fellers here.
He's got to mean west. You can go back and clarify.
Okay, I'll ask with like cardinal north which direction he wants his dragoons to go. Here we go.
I think I like that one because it looks better top down.
Yeah, I agree.
I might give a little side view though. Alright, don't let me forget, I gotta roll for the cat every turn.
I was in Blue CIC's room. I thought that was the umpire's room, and it was weird why nobody showed up in their room.
They were.
So is every umpire moving his players' pieces,
Should
or
these-
are we consolidating that?
These guys are scouting ahead east. What's their movement again? How far are we going?
Cavalry can go 3 miles.
Oh, that's quite far.
Yeah.
So from here, measure that out. Close.
Question for you, James.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the interpretation of the map near XDX's troops, he was asking whether or not these hills here, he'd be able to place his troops around this position and be obscured from the main road.
Obscured.
Here, I'll delete some of these. So
I can't see the terrain anymore. Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Okay, cool. Okay, I will.
No one's coming down that road anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Cool. Do that.
Alright, so we got some artillery firing. It's actually at, well...
They just set up. They wouldn't do any damage. I just wanted to...
They're out of range anyway.
Oh.
That's a kilometer and a half on good roads, right? For infantry marching.
Yeah, 1.5 miles.
Alright, 1.5 miles, yeah.
Alright. Let me know. So for everyone near the cat, let them know there's a cat on the board, and it swiped the dragoons and pushed them about 0.5 mile. And now it's sitting in front of blue.
I wonder, could we rotate the cat sideways, so its head is facing up.
Like that. All right. You can do, if you want to do like a 45-degree angle shot so you can get the cat better, you can do that. Or maybe take two screenshots, one top down and one from the side. Okay, has everyone made their movements?
Yes.
How do I change the formation from line to from column to line?
So flip it and hit the L button on it. So F flips. If you hold the piece, hit F to flip it, and then push the L button to go into line formation. Like that. Oh.
Casey, did Sebastian go scouting ahead or something?
Swense went up the main road, and then he said Sebastian, I think, is just attached to Swense. So I'm assuming he's just following behind. He only gave orders for Dragoon to split off. So I'm assuming he's just going to follow in column.
I'm asking because he moved a little too fast this run, and Nick is a little too behind. So, I mean, Nick stays there. Okay.
He's saying like
Go ahead.
They wouldn't have gotten that far ahead after they passed.
Sounds good.
That's all right. All right, I think everything's moved. It's now 11. Take your next screenshots.
Quick question with horse artillery. Can it keep up with the cav, or is it reduced?
Yeah, they can keep up.
Okay, cool. So,
Romulus, you're keeping up with dispatches?
Yeah.
They're going to start coming now pretty fast.
Yep.
I'll post them after you give the screenshots to player.
Before, could we just check my channel? I forget, Swense, and like, is that an appropriate screenshot? Is that good enough distance or too much? I want to make sure before we go too far.
Maybe a smidge too much, and you can do it top down too. But otherwise fine.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to make sure before we went ahead. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing other people's now.
Hills. Okay. Just taking my last screenshot right now. Okay.
All right, matey. You there?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
so your column continues down the road, passing by Radonitz and catching up to Satellites. As your first light brigade is approaching the town, a giant cat appears on the field, and it swipes at your dragoons, pushing them a half a mile to the north. And it's now sitting on top of Satellites, blocking your movement forward.
Very well. How damaged are the dragoons?
They're not damaged at all. They're just out of position.
Okay, so this is just kind of like a tongue-in-cheek for things not going to plan. Okay. From what I can see, have the dragoons move north between that, like, a Selena Mill and Winnar, and kind of take a sort of defensive position for a moment. Have
Wait, hold on.
First, like,
where do you want him to go?
have the dragoons like kind of shift a bit north to Winnar,
Okay.
and then all of my troops we should try to concentrate around Winnar for the moment. Like back away from the angry cat. Hopefully, it screws over the other team, and then we can kind of concentrate around Winnar for the moment.
Okay, so
Well,
march to Winnar, basically.
yeah, send the horse artillery, because if I go to even if the cat wasn't there, if we went into satellites, there'd be the possibility that we'd get pincered.
Mm-hmm.
So it's best to go to Winnar right now.
Okay.
And notify everyone possible. Did my dispatches make it through?
Should be. Romulus is handing them. He's getting them every turn, so they should be going through.
All right.
All right. Thank you for your orders.
Of course.
All right, Chinleaf. You continue falling behind the third. They're slowing down a little bit, but mostly keeping a good pace. You're now passing north of the town of Dektar and east of Genstein. And you have spotted, your outer pickets and scouts have spotted enemy hussars in the town of Ober-Pusernitz to the south.
Yeah, the 3 normal batteries will form up at the TZ of about 142 degrees or something. The hilly terrain should allow us to be in range of the enemy. The 2 grenadier battalions will be on either side of the batteries to act as their guards, basically. And the second division will continue marching along the road until ordered to do otherwise, and I'll send a dispatch real quick. Who do I ping for dispatches? Do I ping you or do I ping Romulus?
Romulus.
Romulus.
Alright, thank you. Alright, let's see what the cat does this turn. 8. Roll over and crush a nearby unit. Oh, that's fun.
Rip.
Who's the closest? Something red. I'll do the dragoons.
Uh-oh.
Take a disruption. Now the cat's sitting on him.
What was the official action of the cat?
It rolled
Roll
over
over?
and crushed some dragoons. It's sitting on
Okay,
top of
cool.
him right now.
I had a question for crossing some of the rivers near XDX. Would you be able to cross any of that water here, or just places that I thought would be like here and here could be crossable?
If it's those big ponds and stuff, absolutely not. If it's those tiny
Yeah.
little, barely pencil-thin lines, yeah, he can cross those.
Okay, figured. Cool.
Usually takes a movement penalty, but yeah.
Yeah, usually half the movement if he's crossing. There should be roads
Okay.
enough for him to cross, but
He wanted to ask for later.
okay, sure. All right.
So that is...
A question for Swense over here.
Yep.
Is this an appropriate amount of movement for the dragoon?
Yeah, if he wants it right ahead, it can go twice that, but for the infantry, that's about right.
Twice that? Yeah, they wanted to scout ahead.
Yeah, so
Okay,
give him that.
thank you. And the rest of them as well?
Had they moved at all before you did that?
Yeah, he said that because he mixed up his east and west, he actually wanted everyone to go west.
Oh, okay, then
So
I
I
think
just moved
where they were was fine.
His dragoon was already going the right direction, but like Swense back here, he was on this road, so he wanted
Yeah.
to go down.
Yeah, so that would take time to get back on the right road.
Okay,
So I think it's fine.
so these guys are here?
Yep.
Thank you.
It consumes approximately half a mile or of movement to form a line.
Yeah, roughly.
Do Nick and,
And-
Sebastian co-locate this turn? Because they're pretty close.
Sebastian didn't show up, so that's not an actual person. We could take him off if that's confusing.
Okay.
I'll take him off.
And is there a way that I can represent that they're in the middle process of forming a line? Or do I just tell them that visually or verbally?
Usually I just put them in line and then verbally describe it.
Got it.
Alright, I think everything's moved. We're not done combat quite yet. So let Delta know that his dragoons got rolled over. And
Yep.
I think that's about it.
And just this dragoon. Go ahead.
There was artillery fire this turn, correct?
Where?
No.
No, there was not. Okay.
No one's in range yet.
Yeah, no.
Alright, 11:30.
Just this dragoon is going, not the rest of the column.
He's just riding ahead to scout. The whole column
Just this guy. Okay.
moved.
The whole column too.
Well, it already moved, right?
Not the rest of the column.
They were. This is where they started at the end of the turn or last turn.
These guys here were up on this road,
Right.
and these guys were where they were.
Yeah. So they've moved a mile. That's 2 miles already.
Okay.
They're good.
So okay. Thank you. Ready.
Should I ever worry about dispatches getting intercepted or something?
Yeah. Maybe later in the game. Right now, it's not a concern.
Okay.
I'll let you know if it ever is.
Bob was asking if his dispatches were going through. I mean, I was like, okay,
Just tell him yes.
let Romulus know.
Sorry, I've been slow to move my pieces. What was that to go from line and column back again? F for flipping?
See,
Half a mile.
And then,
Yeah.
you hit seed if you want to put it in column again.
Oh, that's okay. Got it.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Screenshot out. I'm gonna go
Not what I
get
wanted.
orders.
What on earth?
Hello.
Hi. Alright, so fortunately the cat has left you alone and seems to have gone off to bother the red troops. You watch with horror in the distance as a giant cat rolls over and crushes some enemy dragoons. Or I guess delight, I don't know if you'd have horror delight seeing the enemy that way. But anyway, it's not bothering you now, which is good. The dragoons move up to Weinar, and the infantry and artillery are moving into the town now. You can see to the southwest enemy troops, light infantry, are at the town of, or outside the town of Cable, with some horse artillery, and some more troops are to your south, formed up about 2 miles away.
Okay. So I think the most reasonable course of action would be after consolidating in like my current position. I believe I should start trying to deploy in unison northeast of Kibble to attack them from that direction. That should be my objective since their horse artillery is somewhat a ways off. So if I could attack from the northern direction, with both the dragoons and the light infantry, that should be ideal.
Okay.
And moving northwest would also be more ideal to also help potentially avoid the cat.
Yep. All right. Well, it'll take about a turn to get through town and deploy to the northwest of town, so.
That's fine. Like, just try to deploy as best as possible. Like, the more orderly it is, the better.
Alright, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Alright, Chinleaf, you pull off the main road heading southeast to get onto those hills there to deploy. Enemy hussars remain in the town to the south, unmoving. And you can see that Mady, his 3rd division, has also pulled off the road but heading northwest. And you're starting to lose sight of them. Your own artillery is starting to get onto the hill to deploy, but your officers inform you from these hills they're not in range of the enemy cavalry or anything. They're about 2 miles away, so or more than 2 miles.
Well, they'll deploy in the same position, except a little bit closer so that they can be in range. The 2nd will continue marching behind the 3rd.
Alright, so get closer into range.
Yes, have the grenadiers be on standby. Be ready for anything the cavalry will do.
Thank you.
Is James in here? Hi.
I'm here.
My orders for Dragoon was to scout ahead along the road. If
Mhm.
they see enemies, to not engage, but to wait for reinforcements.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Slock has a scheme to negotiate with the cat.
Okay. What's his scheme?
He wants to his 3rd brigade to take off their hats as to provide the cat with toys, and then to empty their haversacks to offer it with food.
Very creative.
Alright, well, I rolled move towards red, so he'll get off the Dragoons, and now he'll be sitting right at 3rd Brigade. So he's distracted by their hats, I guess.
I'll tell him it's only temporary, though.
Yeah.
Like, the cat's looking a little bored now.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I get combat for my Dragoon? Let's see over. Because he said, I want you to scout ahead, disengage if you see anyone,
Yeah,
and
so,
wait for reinforcements.
so they're scouting right now, no combat.
Okay. I was also thinking, like, maybe you should have told them that before you sent them. And then the rest of them follow down the road.
Alright, so they'll go. Oh, you got it. Sorry.
Where did Slock go?
Here?
Yeah, about there. Did Slock drop?
Last question. Are we riding or driving? Like marching or on horsebacks? I don't think we're on horses.
The cavalry on horses and the commanders, the infantry are all marching.
Okay, thank you.
Slock's tile get deleted?
Hope not. Where'd it go?
Because he was here.
Yeah, it looks like it did. Yeah. Oh, I don't have it. Hold on.
I could. Yeah.
I
Okay.
have them. I just gotta bring all these guys in real fast.
March at column.
Alright, where was he?
I got it.
Oh, okay. You can make it smaller too, yeah. Alright, so it's 12. No combat yet. Oh, movement's still happening a little bit. And this dark area is woods, so I'd show him the edge of the woods, but don't let him see very deep in it for Navy. And I guess
Yeah, he's not going in the woods yet personally, but I haven't been doing more than like 50 meters beyond the wood edge so far.
All right, 12 o'clock. You can do your updates.
Copy. Naval. 12.
Going to get my updates. All right, matey. So your division has marched through Wienar, and to the opposite side of the town, and has deployed into line formation, or I guess loose formation since they're light troops. With the cavalry screening you. The enemy's at the very extreme range of your artillery, so actually just outside your artillery range. The same holds true for them, but they're holding position facing you. So your artillery would have to move forward a little bit to bring them under fire. You can see the cat to the south seems to be occupied by the red troops, and that's it.
Are the red troops trying to kill it?
You can see them waving their hats, trying to get its attention. So, I don't know.
Alright, so the best move right now would be to have my horse artillery move up and hit their first light brigade, and then have my 2 infantry, try to wrap around and hit that first light brigade, while my dragoon kind of counters their, hindered dragoon, along the Von Prague road. But, to be very cautious so that it doesn't gain the attention of the cat.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, mark it. So you want the dragoons to attack, or or to defend the southern flank against the enemy dragoons?
Hold on, I got something. What did you say?
Did you want the dragoons to attack, or they're just kind of guarding the southern flank?
Just guarding the southern flank for now.
Got it. All right, thank you. All right, Chinleaf. So you move south, passing through the town of Zelenets, and you find a pretty good hill to set up on, which affords you a very nice view. You can see some forest. You see the main road, some forest to the south beyond that. And the hussars in the town are on their own, you can tell now, as you can see beyond it. To this, you can see friendly dragoons also on the road, and then to the east you can see more of your army arriving, marching west.
One grenadier battalion will stay here, and 1 battery will also stay here. They'll begin firing on the enemy hussars. The other 2 batteries and the grenadiers are to move westwards again and try to get on the road. If they can't do it in time, the second will march past them at the double.
Okay, head west again. And where do you want to go? Do you want to stay here?
No, I want to go to the top, just near Bektar.
Okay, got it. thank you.
Hi. Question?
Yep.
So light infantry on the double to support Dragoon. I ride Swense here wants to co-locate with where MDWK or WTK was. So he wants to move here.
How far is does the sound of cannon fire travel?
question.
For this battlefield, everyone can hear it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'll just
Cannon
want to double check
fire.
that.
Thank you. So should I move him to where he was? Because he did specify he wants to co-locate with him.
You know what? We'll just co-locate.
Okay. Thank you.
And then I'll do... is Swense your only person you have?
Yes, Swense is it.
Okay, no worries then.
And then he wants his artillery to sit up south of where MDK's position was. Maybe he wants...
They'd still
maybe
be coming down the road, so that'll be next
Makes
turn.
sense. Thank you.
All right, Slock's next cat-based strategy is for 3rd Brigade to lie down and be motionless.
Right, let me roll and see what happens. Eat the nearest courier. Alright, so Romulus, the next the next dispatch that Slock sends, don't send it.
Okay.
And then let him know that the cat gets bored and then bites and eats a courier that he just sent out. So I'll do this.
What is his next? Okay, yeah, whatever. I rolled for combat.
Oh, you rolled that? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You're ahead of me then. Let me roll down here. -2. Nothing. Okay. Alright, so everyone will hear the artillery fire. There's coming from 2 places now, so you can kind of give the general direction of where they're hearing it from and maybe approximate mileage. And describe that for them.
So they're happening to the north, like east, or west. Sorry, shit, cardinal direction. Okay. And then cannon fire directly. Okay.
All right, all the movement's done, combat's done. So it's now 12:30.
30 p.m.
Alright, I'm going to get my orders. Alright, matey. So, your artillery's moved forward and then unlimbered, and as soon as your officers say it's in a decent position. Still pretty long range, but you bring the enemy under fire. Unfortunately, their initial shots fall short, whereas the enemy seems to be more dialed in, so the second light start taking fire as they advance. They're advancing in loose order formation, heading down the open fields towards the southwest, where the enemy's staying. To the south, you can see the enemy lines have advanced a little bit, but they're kind of ignoring you, just heading east for the most part. You've lost sight of the cat.
No. I guess one of my mistakes in previous games wasn't being aggressive enough, so I'm going to try to pincer, have the dragoons hit the second light, just a go at them, and then while their enemy dragoons are still recuperating, have the first lights hit their enemy light from the flank, from the northern flank, and then have my artillery, keep firing, or if preferable, move to a closer range and keep firing. The other infantry is to loosen up, and to kind of try to run across, and then start hitting the enemy artillery, with fire.
Which infantry is supposed to be doing that?
It's light infantry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since they're light infantry, it's probably best to use them as skirmishers while the first light infantry goes forward and hits directly. And have the dragoons hit the second light infantry of the enemy unit from the southern flank. And just try to cause a rout. Let's see if, I'm just gonna throw everything I have at them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like the light infantry to form up to the south of my dragoons. I'd like the dragoons to pull back. Yeah, sorry. I'd like the dragoons to pull back. I'd like the light infantry to form up to kind of at an angle south of where the dragoons are now. And my horse artillery to join the other artillery that is currently firing on that ridge line south of Zelenets. Personally, I would like to go ride to the 4th Division command.
4th Division? Nick?
Fourth. Where do I see the 4th Division?
He's right here. To the east.
Nick?
So if that's possible, I want to send a unit at the double to the town or village of Radonitz just to secure it. The 2nd Grenadiers, most likely, and the 2nd Division and 5th are to continue marching southwest or west, whatever it is. Just move towards satellites. I think that's satellites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have a question. How do we handle dispatches? So my guy Galgan wants to send a dispatch to the CIC. How do I communicate that?
I don't understand the question. He should be writing it in his channel.
Okay, so he's writing it in the channel, and then somebody picks it up from there and sends it somewhere else.
Are you?
Yes.
When you forward the dispatches. Oh no, Romulus is handling all the dispatches, so he needs to write it in the channel, and Romulus will copy and paste it and deliver it to Swense.
Okay, so I have nothing to do with that. I just let him write that.
Yep, just tell him to write it, and Romulus will take care of it.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, and Chinleaf, are you at the head of the column still heading southwest?
Yeah.
Okay. And then your artillery is firing down on the town now in the cavalry, just so you know.
Yes.
And you guys
firing
can hear,
as long as they're in range.
Yeah, you can hear more artillery to the west. I don't know if that was told. All right, thank you guys.
Is Teal still using this marking? Here?
I don't know.
It's not like urgent. I was just wondering.
Did Slock want to go to that space where he is, or did he want to meet up with Skullgun? Because I moved Skullgun just a moment ago.
Is it cool if I erase this teal?
I have a question. So XTX Cavalry is moving towards Nick and Bob's divisions, and they're marching in column. How should the blue divisions react to this, or do they even see this?
Let's see.
Quick question for you. He wants. Sorry, XDX wants to approach to the northwest of his current location, but there's that big sort of ridge line, right? He wants to stay below that so the no one on the main highway can see him. That's possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So where is he? He's staying.
Yeah,
below the
like
ridge.
here. He wants to be here.
Yeah. So keep him out of the screenshot for Nick and Swense, because they'd be hidden behind that hill ridge and ridgeline.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he wants to place himself in the town of Sevesto, but he wants to be hidden himself, or do his best to be hidden. Personally.
Okay.
Don't know how you want to handle that particularly, but...
Has XDX spotted the column?
No.
Okay.
He's heard cannon fire in this vicinity, but he has not... Last turn, he has not spawned the column. This turn, he will.
If he's in the town, I guess show him, but don't show his cavalry to the blue.
Got it.
And then he'll see the whole column.
Should I tell him that that he has been seen by the enemy column, or is it just presumed?
No, he has not been seen.
No, this turn.
Let him know he might have been seen.
Okay.
Alright, I'm rolling for the cat. Let's see what the cat's doing.
Okay.
There's some ominous pointing towards XDX's location.
Sit and block movement. Alright, the cat's not moving, it's just sitting there.
Okay, I'm not to give any indication of XTS's cavalry to the blues, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's correct.
Don't show them.
Got it.
Yeah. He starts the setup in line, but not fully formed yet.
Spoke too soon.
So wait for the everything to be resolved.
And
Are they supposed to be in square formation? 4 or 5.
not that one. He ordered the fourth to be here, which I'm trying to figure out if he could have got there in time. I don't think so. Not to square.
Alright, let him know First Brigade's falling under fire.
First Brigade's under fire. Okay.
Artillery.
And then he wanted to be there, and his artillery is... Let me make sure. 4... Yeah, no, even less.
I think I know what this battle is going to be named for.
What's that?
Well, the main area of contention seems to be over Posernitz.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the middle of forming... Square... How fast can Square be formed from marching column? It's pretty quick, isn't
A
it?
minute or two, yeah.
Yeah, okay, then you'd be able to...
Especially from marching column, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty damn quick.
Alright. Sorry, all
Okay, cool. Let me get the screenshots now.
1300.
Yeah, my movement's done.
Nick and Swense are pretty close by. Are they co-located for this turn?
Yeah, you can put them together.
Skullgrind, whoever has Skullgrind, Slock is moved to them, so I'm gonna co-locate them, but you have to take their orders.
Got it.
And also give them a screenshot.
Should I show... Oh, no, the force is in the way, so never mind.
Is it alright if I move these pieces for my screenshot really fast? I can't do a snip, I'm on Mac.
Which pieces?
XDX. I can like
Go for it.
grab it really fast.
Well, at least I'm okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So they were right in front. Let's just remember. Right there. Screenshot really fast.
And I'll take my screenshot after you're done with yours.
Sorry.
Now you're good.
Wow. Okay. And you can move them back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Screenshot in.
Oops.
So, rough estimate from over Polsanitz, how far east should they see? Just to the forming blue line there, or do they see beyond? And if so, how far beyond?
I would just
Like
show
Vinica,
them.
maybe?
I mean, for sure the guns and the infantry, those three up there, and then maybe out to the wagons, but not
up to the wagons and then okay, got it. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna redo that.
Okay. All right, matey. So it's taking your infantry some time to cross the miles of fields heading towards the enemy, but they're almost in range of combat. Meanwhile, your guns continue firing. The second light are getting in close into range. Are taking some more concentrated artillery fire. The dragoons go to attack the second light, but the enemy dragoons move to intercept. And now both sides are clashing at the south end of the battlefield. It's a pretty even fight so far. And to the east, you can see the arrival of more of your allies in the form of 5th Division, I think.
Okay. So, for my dragoons, the best thing would be to try to gain the advantage, like try to draw them in and then fight off the enemy dragoons. And if the enemy dragoons are able to be fought off, pull back. But if the enemy dragoons are advancing, try to cause as much pain as possible so that they don't take down our allied infantry. Have my artillery move up a little and try to keep firing. My infantry unit that's on the road, have them move up in skirmisher formation and then start firing at the artillery and enemy infantry, and have my fully formed infantry unit in the north try to outflank and hit that enemy infantry unit, the first light. The fundamental thing is to try to outflank it so that we don't just go at an entrenched enemy. And that's probably the best I can do right now.
Alright, thank you. Alright, Tubaleki, welcome.
Yes, I'm sorry about my lateness.
No worries. So, Chinleaf was handling your division. I guess it'd be back to how you were, but it's all discombobulated now. So you guys are leading the artillery heading to satellites. You can see Matey battling red troops to the west, and then you can see the enemy, a lot of enemy troops to the south of you heading east. The 2nd Grenadiers have taken up position inside Radonitz, and your guns are continuing to fire to the east. Your artillery and 1st Grenadiers report that a large enemy formation has arrived in Oberposernitz and is forming up, and they've taken them under fire in the town.
Excellent.
So, I don't know who wants to give orders first.
MDW, are you able to give orders since you were here last turn? If not, I'll give them, based on what I think is good.
If you want to give orders for the 5th, you can give orders for the 5th. It's just that one of your battalions are strung out.
Well, I just think we both should probably agree on the same course of action. My immediate thought is we hit these guys to our southeast and put a blocking force on the red forces to the southwest.
It's not possible to
Not possible.
directly hit them in one turn. So my advice is to
Not
just
in one turn, but
form up the 2 batteries of artillery and just begin bombarding them. Have the grenadiers support them from the rear or the side, and have the 2nd Division form up behind the grenadiers, ready for an assault.
sounds good.
So James, those are my orders. If you want a repetition of it, you can ask me.
So move south, form up, and take the enemy under fire.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Alright, you guys are staying together for now.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Let's roll for the cat. Hopefully it does something fun. 5. Sit on the nearest unit. It's been picking on red, though. I think it's time to pick on blue. That's a fun unit for it to sit on.
Ouch.
Sit on the light infantry.
My Dragoon, like on the main road, has been sent to scout. I'm not sure if he sees XDX, but he's been sent to scout southwesternly.
I mean southeast.
Southeast.
I think he said southwest. He wanted to end up southwest of the Winikia.
Okay, then he goes into the other red, units.
This way.
4th Brigade. Yeah.
Supply to move north off the main road.
Does Swense stay where he is, or is he moving?
He said, when I repeated back, he didn't have any notes. He just wanted his supplies to move north off the road and his dragoons to go southwest of Winikia.
Okay, can you
else was good.
move him up ahead with, I don't know, his hussars or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to assume that.
Yeah. Yeah.
John already is at a mile, right?
Sorry?
A range on the Artie is a mile, correct?
Yeah, mile max.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I rolled already, Kermit. I did that combat.
Yeah, I figured.
Should I ask for clarity? I feel like I don't want to play for Swense. He said where he is fine. I don't want to I'm sure play for him and move him
No,
up.
just leave him with Nick wherever Nick is at.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Okay. Just wanted to ask what the...
So a question
That's
for
probably.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's probably what he meant.
Yeah.
Okay, Skullgun's force wanted to form to the left of the 1st Brigade, but they're going to see the blue formation.
Question for in terms of XDX's Cav. He wants to move them up to this ridge here, but then keep on the reverse up so he's still not visible to the main road. I'm assuming that's still possible whilst being on the north side of this little river.
Yeah.
/ stream. Yep, that's possible. Okay, cool.
So XGS is still hidden to the blues?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And his horse artillery is on the reverse slope as well, so he won't be able to see any of their troops this turn. Okay.
And then a question for the Hussars, Lesdorf, Ober, Polsenitz. They wanted to go north to that intersection where the artillery fire has just started to go. He didn't say whether they want to engage or retreat, just say go there.
Let's see. I'm Hussars and I see artillery that aren't very well defended. I think they'll attack.
You probably
Quick
tried.
question too. What's his name? Completely. Mabel wanted his 2nd brigade to take up around the position that the 1st Grenadiers are in right now. How do you resolve that, sort of?
So where's the 1st Grenadiers going?
Not sure. Well, that's presumably they wanted to go there. Yeah.
Just do that. Yeah.
And then he wanted to do something like this. And then let me get his cannon. How long does it take for cannon to unlimber as well?
Like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. So he'll be able to get up there, but he won't be limbered yet. Unlimbered yet. Or he'll be in the process of it. So probably maybe a first couple shots, but he hasn't been able to really open. He'll unlimber, but he won't be able to open up this turn. That's what he hasn't opened up this turn.
And the cat's sitting on the light infantry, by the way. Alright. It's 13:30.
Okay, screenshots time.
How have we been describing the cat so far? Is it like a really big cat?
A giant cat is on the battlefield.
Can XTX see a giant cat from here?
Yeah, he would. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'll verbally tell him that.
It's like a quarter mile tall, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, he sees a giant cat.
What's the visual range for the commanders, by the way?
About
How many
mile and a half.
Yeah.
Mile and a half. Okay.
Could I get XDX out of the way?
Do you want to move his stuff? Go for it. Yeah.
You can. I can grab it if you want to like pick it up and move it, so it's not like a big move for you. Or
Sorry, one second. I'm just doing a screenshot right now.
Oh yeah, no worries. I can do it.
Yeah, there we go. If you, I'll get the chance. You to take a look at Naval's screenshot I'm just about to place. It is quite comical with the cat in it, just out of the mist.
Oh, that is funny.
Sorry, did you get your screenshot? Do you need me to move XDX?
I think actually Swense is far up enough that I can just kind of crop it from behind. I don't think he can see. Can he see that hill from where he's at? I'm thinking like he has like a cone of vision, or should I like expand that out and show nothing on the hill?
What hill?
For Swense, I'm thinking he can only see like a cone ahead of him, or should he be able to see like the hill as well?
I would do it like this.
Because like okay.
Here, I'll post it in this channel.
Naval is very confused. He says, "Why is there a cat? I guess the name was literal."
Right, Swense is blue.
Oh, that's funny. Am I free to take my screenshot now?
Sweet. Thank you, James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, sorry, my name is James as well. I'm sure you didn't mean me.
Thank you, James
Well,
Prime.
Yeah, but yeah, there we go.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my orders now. Thank you.
Okay, just get.
All right, matey. So the fight in front of you continues to be underway. Unfortunately, it looks like your dragoons are starting to break under pressure from the enemy and fall back. Likewise, the second line looked to be taking a lot of casualties. But they've brought the enemy under fire and are exchanging rounds with them. Your guns continue to fire into the enemy position. To the east, you could see the 2nd and 5th Divisions arriving and engaging the enemy there. And lots more artillery fire to the east as well. That's about it. What are your orders?
All right. Both my basically my dragoons are to try to extract themselves, back to Winnar. Same thing with the second light infantry. But the second light infantry should be aware for any potential dragoon charge. My artillery is to continue firing at the first light, enemy brigade, and my first light infantry, they should withdraw slightly and get out of firing range and reposition on hill behind them. That small hill.
Yep. Okay.
Right. And my supply wagon should get behind my, HQ near Situitz. In preparation for a worst case scenario. Okay.
Got it. Alright, gentlemen, mixed news. So, your artillery moved south. The grenadiers moved to catch up. They started deploying and firing on the enemy as the enemy also was deploying and firing on you. Unfortunately, the rapidity of your deployment and with the artillery being at the front, you became momentarily vulnerable to enemy hussars, which saw the opportunity and charged in. And now you've got red cavalry in and amidst your guns and artillerymen. The 2nd Grenadiers are moving up quickly to defend the guns, but you've lost a lot of artillerymen already. And you can see a lot of enemy movement to the south, southeast. You hear guns to the west and east. And that's it.
Excellent, thank you.
You ready for orders? You need a minute.
NDW, what do you think? I think it's pretty standard. The orders, we just need to continue the deployment, try and save the guns. We need to bring our infantry to bear on this entire southern front. I would like to deploy deep, if possible. Seems like that's basically the only order I can give in this situation, I think. So.
Okay.
The artillery battery that has not begun firing will fall back as fast as possible. The 2nd Grenadiers will move into their position and form up square to defend against the enemy hussars. The 1st and 2nd Brigades from the 2nd Division will move up here and take position just where the HQ tokens are, basically, and fend off against the 6th Division of the enemy. And the 3rd and 4th Brigades are to take up positions just southeast of the HQ tokens currently to try and stop the enemy grenadiers and the artillery from hitting our flanks. And if it's practical, either the 3rd or the 4th will charge at the enemy artillery to try and overwhelm them before they can fire. But if it's not realistic, then they'll resort to musket fire combat.
Okay. Got it, thank you.
James,
Mhm.
Nick is trying to move around the cat from its south towards Winnica, and he's heading west, basically. So, what does he see around Winnica, basically?
Have you moved him
With-
yet?
I haven't moved in.
So he wants to,
Let me. Yeah.
so as soon as he goes south, he'll see all the cavalry over there now.
Got it.
If you do that or something. It looks like he's getting attacked.
Yeah, no, he's getting attacked.
So
There's a total cavalry charge by XDX here, prioritizing general staffs, artillery, supplies, and then hitting any units that are unprepared. They are to avoid infantry formations or anyone that's gonna put up a fight, basically.
Okay. The general is with the artillery, so I think he's getting.
And he's going himself.
Okay. What about the blue hussars? Are they? Yeah, they're coming back.
we'll say some went ahead and some are. We'll
Okay.
we'll do it about like
Okay.
that.
Got it. And Bob's division, it certainly sees the fight going up ahead. Does it form into line formation and try to rescue the force division?
He'll have a chance to give those orders on his turn.
Okay. So Bob's division doesn't do anything.
What are its orders? Just move forward?
Yeah, just to move forward.
So they would.
Might I add that his order of choice of targets was supply, generals, and artillery first, and to avoid infantry. Not that there's infantry here, and anyone that's going to put up too much of a fight. Was
Don't move the
pretty much what I was
wagons.
told.
Stop touching stuff.
Sorry, James. Nick's supply column was to move a little south. So
Alright, they got caught in the charge.
yeah, they're okay.
That's fine.
So Skullgun's guns wanted to shoot at the first grenadiers. I added some smoke, but I'm not sure about how to apply damage.
Yeah, we'll do combat. Kermit, you're doing the west side? Oh, he's not here yet. Oh, yeah, we got it. Don't worry.
Let me know when I'm free to take some screenshots.
Yeah, the combat's gonna take longer this time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alright, we'll roll. We're seeing if Nick gets killed or captured. 3, not killed. He's gonna
He
escape.
wanted to keep. He wanted to give an avert order to capture people. I don't know if that affects it.
Yeah, he's able to run off. The third of SARS will protect him.
James, I'll start on the left side and work towards you.
Okay, thank you.
Quick question with the cat. What is the cat doing so I can describe?
Let me roll. I haven't rolled for it yet.
Sitting on the light infantry. Swense's light infantry.
Cat is scratching. Oh, finally we get a scratch.
Okay.
If I draw, nobody do an erase of this, so the cat's gonna make a big scratch right here. So nothing can go through the scratch now.
Oh, that's permanent. Understood.
Permanent.
Is it permanent?
Yeah.
I like that.
Very.
Where'd the smoke go? So the charge went mostly well. They captured the wagons, took out the guns, almost captured Nick, but didn't. And
Okay.
it went pretty well. Let's see. I gotta roll for
The guns, the blue guns are still working, right?
Which ones?
The blue horse artillery, Nix.
No, they're captured, disabled.
The captured, okay, and so are the supply wagons, right?
Yep.
Got it.
James, I'll do these
captured and
artillery.
destroyed.
Okay.
Which one?
Will the blue be able to capture back their horse artillery and supplies, or is it like
It
they're
depends
damaged?
if he gives orders to spike it or take it. Right now, they're like surrounding it and captured it. So it could possibly be retaken, although that looks unlikely to me.
Okay, I'll tell them that they've been able to get hold of guns, but nothing has been overtly or purposely destroyed as of yet.
Oh, did you roll for this combat?
Yes, I did. It's actually going to add... With the Hussars... Okay, yeah.
I think they'd push him back. I don't know if...
Yeah, the Hussars would probably disengage.
I think so, too.
This isn't really their style.
And that artillery should be firing, right?
It was ordered not to avoid friendly fire with the Hussars.
Okay. Maybe you can show... Well, yeah, that's fine. Alright. So now it is 2 o'clock. 1400. So for those that can see the black mark, let them know the cat scratched a giant hole in the battlefield. There's a giant chasm.
Yes.
It's 2 p.m. Oh. Hey, James, can you move your hand really quick?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, good. Thanks. And
Alright, matey. So you send the order to make a fighting withdrawal. Fortunately, the enemy dragoons disengage and don't pursue, so you're able to withdraw. Now it's just the guns on both sides firing back at each other. Your infantry are moving back to your position. Your own dragoons move up to the town and are recovering to the north. You still heard lots of artillery fire to the east. And that's it.
Okay. Alright, so unit by unit, my second light are to basically retreat to where my HQ is, and basically are to hold that position and recover. My HQ is to retreat somewhat just behind the horse artillery. My dragoons are to recover. My supply wagons are to move basically... Like, my supply wagons are move behind the horse artillery so that they're not vulnerable. And then my first light infantry is to basically entrench try to recuperate if possible in case the enemy attacks, and sort of have a, I guess, semicircular formation to kind of draw the enemy in case they attack. On that hill.
Okay. Guns keep firing?
Huh?
Yeah, you want your artillery to keep firing?
Yes, have the artillery keep firing.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Alright, gentlemen. Good news. The 2nd Grenadiers were able to attack and chase off the enemy Hussars, and you're able to recover most of your guns. The 1st and 2nd Brigade have arrived and started deploying. The 3rd Brigade deployed early in the face of enemy Grenadiers that arrived to your southeast. 4th Brigade still coming up. Some of the guns were moved back to safety as you ordered. The 1st Grenadiers report that the enemy remains in the town of Carthen, that they're under artillery fire, but the enemy infantry has not advanced yet. And they've been reinforced by the arrival of the cavalry of 4th Division.
All right.
Your orders?
MDW, I really think we should retreat those advanced elements, like the Grenadiers and the artillery. I mean, it's very hard to have them retreat in the first place, but we're strung out. I think a swift counterattack will ruin us. What do you say?
Okay, well, if the artillery is too exhausted to continue and they eventually get disrupted to a point where they cannot fire anymore, they'll pull back behind the 2nd Brigade. The 2nd Grenadiers will also pull back and move towards Radonitz directly through my HQ positions area, and the 2nd Brigade will take their place and block the enemy 2nd Grenadier detachment from trying to outflank us. The 3rd Brigade are to move against the enemy Grenadiers as well, the 2nd Grenadiers, and the 4th Brigade are to move on the flanks of the enemy artillery and just charge them straight and rout them.
That's the 4th Brigade?
Yeah, the 4th Brigade is to outflank the enemy artillery just directly south of them and rout them entirely by charging them.
Okay.
Don't you think the Grenadiers are in the way of that?
The Grenadiers is pulling back. They're way too
I mean,
disruptive.
the enemy Grenadiers, they're like the 2nd Grenadiers.
Yeah, the enemy Grenadiers are being faced by the 2nd and 3rd Brigades, so they
Alright.
can't really do much at the moment.
Got it, thank you.
Attack the horse artillery.
What's the
That should not have a penalty. That would be fine.
So you should,
Unless he's getting
give me-
actively shot at, which he's out of range, so he should be fine.
Okay.
Alright, Romulus.
And he wanted.
Sorry. Romulus, the cat's eating
he
one
wanted-
of the blue couriers from Swense.
James, a question about the Grenadiers that you moved in the north here. So we didn't implement any of the red movements. They wanted actually to charge the 2nd Grenadiers together with the Hussars from the south. And the red artillery was supposed to fall back to north of Oberpersonitz with the commanders, basically.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if the artillery is getting out of there or if they are being looks like they're being assaulted.
The Hussars are to attack the artillery or the Grenadiers?
No, the Hussars and the 2nd Grenadiers red are supposed to go after the 2nd Grenadiers blue.
Okay.
And if the Hussars succeeded, they wanted to go after the artillery, but that seems a little bit out of reach, maybe.
Okay, got it.
And for the artillery, are they going to get away from the 4th Brigade, or should they be just take the damage?
They'll shoot.
They wanted to
them
retreat.
as they come in, but they won't get away.
Okay.
We'll roll and see. Kermit, you're doing left. I'll start right.
Yep.
Has Bob
Sounds
been
good.
moved already? No, don't look like he's been moved. I'll do the middle.
As far as this combat's concerned, he wanted his first hussars to to destroy the guns and then get into the flank of the first cuirassiers. So there, he wanted his cuirassiers here to leave the supplies and go help his other cuirassiers fight. And his desire is to break through and then head towards friendly lines to the west.
James, Nick wanted to have his cuirassiers second and third charge at the enemy red cuirassiers, and then try to mop up the hussars if they manage to take those cuirassiers out. I don't think that's possible.
Okay.
That's what his orders were.
What about his hussars?
Third hussar and okay, first cuirassier is gone.
What about his hussars?
Hussars stay. He didn't say anything about these first and second ones. He didn't say anything about them. I guess they're I don't know. Should I confirm or?
Yeah, go ask him what he wants him to do.
Okay.
And then what's Bob
also
supposed to be doing?
So also Bob wanted his second brigade down south of first brigade, hitting the cuirassiers. Third brigade goes into the city. Bob himself moves slightly north. His fourth brigade comes up behind first and second brigade. Down south, yeah. Supply columns move slightly up ahead, I guess, yeah. Yeah, Bob was asking if he's got artillery guns. I said he's only got infantry, but he was insisting he was initially given artillery.
No, his artillery was taken away by the CIC and given to 5th.
Okay, I'll let him know. I'll go ask with Nick what his first hussar is doing.
What are chain route rules?
So every unit that routes the unit, for every unit routing nearby, a unit that is one away from routing will route. So if a unit's at 6 wavering, and 6, and a unit nearby routes, then it will route as well. And if it's at 5 shaky and 2 units are routing, then it will route. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So since the first cuirassiers of near Bob routed, the second and third will also route them?
Yeah, I gotta finish rolling though.
Okay. I don't know. It was just a for my own personal knowledge clarification.
Yeah, this is one big disengagement. What did he come back to say what the hussars were going to do?
They were to assault the 2nd Brigade.
The 2nd Brigade?
That's opposite of them.
Okay, James, Nick's hussars, first and second, they come back to hit enemy hussars in the rear and on the flanks.
Okay. Well, they broke already. Now it's XTX's turn to maybe die. No, doesn't die.
Question?
His cannons were down here, and they were ordered to shoot at the dragoons. Would they be shooting at the dragoons as they did this flanking charge then?
Yeah.
I know Dragoon was ordered to attack that horse artillery, but that was all he was told. So I'm sure you could, whatever you think they would do would be appropriate.
Okay. Which Dragoon was told to attack? This one?
Yeah, that one was told to attack the horse artillery.
Okay. I just got captured then.
Were the horse artillery able to get a couple volleys off before?
Yeah, they did,
I'm assuming.
but not
I'll tell them that. Yeah.
very impactful. So the cat should
Yeah.
need a courier.
I had a question about how far the movement. Last time I'm going to ask.
Mhm.
I moved Swense a mile up. How far are we moving them?
In a turn, the commanders can go like 4 or 5 or 6 miles. The infantry going down the road is like a mile and a half.
Okay, I wasn't. That clears things up for me. He wanted to co-locate with MD over here.
Oh yeah.
Which was like 3 on my ruler. 3.6.
Am I good to take a picture of XDXs now?
I think we are good now.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Bob's units drove off the enemy cuirassiers, and they just stay there, right? They don't move any inch forward.
Yeah, they basically deployed in time to see the cavalry get run off and didn't do much.
Okay, they didn't do much. Okay, got it.
Was Navy co-locating with the CIC intentionally?
Looks like it, yeah. Navy, Solkolgan, and Slock should be together.
Okay, because Slock wanted to see what second div does, but since he came up, I guess it's fair to just leave him there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Swense is now with them. Okay.
And it is 2:30.
Romulus, I'm enjoying all the cat emojis. Good work.
I am.
And I'm good to take a picture of what's his name? Where is he? Tuna, right? Tuna appears to be co-located with Slock. Do I still go get his orders though, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll be in the same channel though with Slock and Shulgan.
I'll do XDX then first, not 2. So I don't
Do you
make
want
things messy for you.
Or do you want to send us yourself?
I can come do it yourself so you don't have to do too much. That being said, if I'm not there by the time you're done, you're more than welcome to take it.
Okay.
Alright, matey. Your infantry have fallen back to your position and are first is taking position on that small little hill. Second are coming back now. Dragoons are still resting and reorganizing. The enemy seems to withdrawn a little bit and also is doing the same. You can see more action to the southeast. It looks like 2nd and 5th divisions are heavily engaged with a lot going on there. That's it.
Okay. So I'm basically tied up for right now because my units are still recovering. So have all my units like is my artillery fire still within range?
Yep.
Okay. Do I have a limit to how much my artillery can fire? Like, are they almost out of ammunition, or?
They probably got about an hour's left before they're out of ammo and the men are too tired.
Say again? I couldn't.
About an hour left of firing.
Okay.
Still.
Okay, so there's probably no point to keep them firing for right now, so have them cease fire.
Okay.
Simply reform my units and have the dragoons rest, but and just wait for next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
My infantry are to mount an attack on the town of oh my god.
Oberposternitz.
Yeah, Oberposternitz.
Your light infantry, I don't know if they informed you, but the cat scratched a giant chasm through the terrain, and there's no way they can get to over Posternitz at the moment. Well, they can go around, I guess, but it's the chasm's
Yeah,
right
yeah.
in front of them.
All right. Can I have can I have the artillery? I'd like my artillery to shift north to cease firing and start shifting north. Sorry, cease firing, shift north the artillery, and then I'd like to order the grenadiers and the light infantry to attack around the chasm to the north. Just all in attack on that angle there, and then we'll get the guns set up again to the north. After that.
Okay. All right. And Tinleaf and Tubaleki.
I would like to go to my. I actually don't know. I don't see them anymore. But the grenadiers and artillery that were to my east that are, I think, under my command.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go to them.
Okay, Tinleaf.
I have faith that the fourth can continue onwards and win this engagement, so they'll continue charging the enemy artillery and then eventually move on to the enemy grenadiers. The second brigade will do as much as they can. The first brigade are instructed to fire on the third brigade and just cover for the second brigade. Second and third brigade are to stop the advance of the enemy second grenadiers. The third brigade are to charge in their flanks or their rear, whatever it is. And that's essentially what I can order now. The artillery are to stay in the rear and regroup and reorganize before being operational again.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Time for the cat roll. Oh, another courier. Where'd our courier guy go?
For
Where is Romulus? Maybe he's just listening in. I don't see him though. Do you see Romulus?
I'm looking now. I have him on. Yeah. Let's see. Don't see Romulus.
Okay.
I'll look in the chat. Yeah, I don't see it.
James, Bob wanted his infantry in squares facing the cavalry.
Alright, they wouldn't be moving like that if they're in squares.
Okay.
They can move a smidge, but not much. Like that.
As far as XDX's orders, he wanted his cavalry to regroup at Gross.
Gross. Where's Gross?
That's kind of
Which is,
gross.
to his right, approximately like a mile to his right.
Oh, XDX at Gross. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
He doesn't always get to choose where they go. They went more south. Maybe we'll say.
As Hussars are coming with, or
Yeah, those guys are a little bit more control, but we'll say some. Leave the rest. Some came, rest did not.
Yeah.
And this battle over here, blue and red cav, still Hussars slugging it out.
These Hussars are captured.
Hussars are captured, okay.
Yeah.
am I free to take a picture for
And
XDX?
If they're captured, Nick wanted the Hussars to move south, chase the enemy cavalry.
These guys would be going into the woods.
Are these grenadiers still charging?
Yes, they continue to charge.
Okay. Not my recommended choice.
So
Well,
he
they're
didn't,
very bold.
he didn't want to guard the prisoners.
Never mind.
I guess they escaped.
They assumed that the charge had gotten too far because they saw the assault A, and they were worried that if they break off the assault, it would be more harmful than just continuing with it.
Alright, I stand corrected. These grenadiers are the luckiest grenadiers I've ever seen.
James,
Mhm.
doesn't
Oh,
Bob's
God, no.
infantry doesn't Bob's infantry move even a little? Even if like they're still where they were.
Well, if they form square, they'd hardly move. Did he
They
say?
hardly move.
Yeah, you don't move much in square formation. Did he say
I mean,
to move?
he wanted to move a little southwest, yeah, facing the enemy, yeah.
I mean, we can do that.
Okay. And Nick tried to rally his damaged cavalry in the north.
Sure, we'll give him one. I don't know who's winning this fight. Who's winning? Seems like red, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, well, they both break. Okay. I guess that works.
Well,
Am I able to take a screenshot for Navy yet, or should I wait?
if it's just artillery and they already got up to him, like the artillery gets a chance to shoot at him on the way in, but did they already have that? Because once they make contact with
Yeah, they already had that.
Oh, okay. Like the previous turn, or in this turn?
Last turn, they had
Last turn, yeah.
Yeah, so if they got through the artillery fire and they're right on top of them, like the guns aren't going to shoot again.
Yeah, I just rolled for melee.
But like the guns have no melee. They only have like 50 artillerymen without guns.
Okay. Then they are probably gone.
They're just routed.
Yes, they
There you
accepted that and accepted that also.
Am I able to take a screenshot for Navy yet, or no?
Not yet.
Whoop.
I think I'll go grab XDX's orders since I assume everything's down there then right now.
Are they assault columning the 4th? I guess.
So are these artillery guns destroyed, captured? What's their fate?
Captured.
What do I tell
right
them?
now.
They are captured, yeah.
James, can you also have Bob's 3rd Brigade in square formation? He wanted everything in square.
Yes, okay.
And does Nick has his cavalry disruption reduced? Because he's trying to rally them back to the battlefield.
I reduced one of them. They're still running away and now recovering where
Okay, okay, got it.
Alright.
And does Bob get to see enemy cavalry here, or does the ridge hide that from him?
It would hide them, but you can verbally report that the cavalry are seen just over the ridge around Gross, recovering.
Okay, okay.
I can do Swense's screenshot since it's the same. Alright, matey. So your guns have stopped firing as ordered. The men are resting and recovering. The dragoons are getting into better position. The enemy still remains opposite you, about a mile away to the southwest. You can hear lots of fighting and battle going on to the east and can see some elements of it. Lots of gun smoke rising in the air as 2nd Division is engaging red. But it doesn't look like it's going very well because you can see a lot of units routing and racing northward. That's about it. What are your orders?
Alright. So the best thing to do right now is to contract slightly overall. Basically have my supply wagon retreat a bit north, have my dragoons basically kind of stay put, my HQ retreat a bit north, and basically have my 2 light brigades and my artillery form a sort of ring, to basically both face the enemy that we've already encountered and what seems to be the enemy that is looking towards us. Have the 2nd Light Brigade sort of extend itself, and entrench so that I can face both the 2nd Light of that enemy, in the southwest, and then the 1st Brigade of the southeast. And, have my dragoons recover because they may be needed soon. That's probably the best orders I can give for now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Alright, Dubaleki, you head east to join 1st Grenadiers and the reserve artillery. As you arrive, you can see the horse artillery nearby limbering up and heading north, and the light infantry heading west towards the enemy position around the chasm. To your west, you can see enemy grenadiers engaged with the 4th Brigade. And to your southwest, you can see 2 enemy brigades outside the city of Oberposternitz. Yep. So I don't know if you command the light infantry or just the grenadiers, but what are your orders? Right now, the grenadiers are marching forward to engage.
So, and the horse artillery is definitely not under my command, correct?
Nope, it's under Swense. Unless he told it was.
Are those hussars doing anything at all, or have they just been sitting there?
They've just been sitting there. I think they've been forgotten.
Can I give them an order?
Sure. What do you want?
If they've been forgotten.
What do you want to order?
There's a gigantic chasm. Okay. Oh gosh. I'll have the. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna have the grenadiers press forward. I'm gonna personally lead them as well. Gotta inspire the men. I would like them to engage the enemy by fire.
Okay.
As for the hussars, I would like for them to come up into this elbow of the 1st Grenadier enemy 1st Grenadiers and 2nd Brigade. So they'll come up and around into this elbow eventually.
Got it.
That's my standing order for them.
All right, thank you. All right, gentlemen. Things are not looking great for 2nd Division. The enemy grenadiers continue to chew through your units and are now heading for the 1st Brigade, which is getting overwhelmed by enemy fire. The 3rd Brigade are hitting them on their flank of their assault column, and the 4th Brigade's moving in. They've captured some guns and are charging in against enemy grenadiers. Meanwhile, the 2nd Brigade and 2nd Grenadiers are fleeing northward. You do have some guns in reserve that are ready to join the fight if ordered, and you hear lots of fighting to the east, not so much to the west. Swense, did you get your update already?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Alright, so Chinleaf, what are your orders? You with us, Chinleaf?
Yeah. The artillery is ordered to fire at the enemy 3rd Brigade if possible in this narrow range, and the 3rd Brigade is ordered to charge at the enemy 2nd Grenadiers. If the artillery has obstruction of view, they are to not fire and just to hold fire for this turn. The 1st Brigade is to continue firing at the 2nd Brigade, and the 4th is to continue against the 1st Grenadiers down to the southeast. That's all I have right now.
Got it, thank you.
Just tell the units in the rear to reorganize as much as possible.
That 4th Brigade incoming on to Oberpassanitz.
Hey, James.
Mm-hmm.
The Hussar unit that was in the forest that got pushed south, I took the liberty of just them thundering down the continuing road, running away, so they'd actually appear in front of command. Same thing with Crosshairs, they move up before command got caught up with them, and the rest of the Cav are following suit. I'm assuming they don't go their full movement this turn.
The cavalry?
Yeah.
They might go their full movement. They're very disorganized, so they just be fleeing as fast as they can.
Okay, cool. So they would probably actually meet down in the town of Awell, or pretty damn close to it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who moved the artillery here from 1st Division Delta? Who's the umpire there?
I don't know.
They are supposed to shoot on 4th Brigade.
Okay.
Like so, I guess. Oops. Yeah. Thank you.
How do you get these square formations back into line?
Hit the L button, flip them over and hit L. So F to flip, click the L.
If they fall back, try to for 4th Brigade to like change for set flank, but I don't think it will be like set a bit. And yeah.
All right, thank you.
And my artillery try to target it at like 4th Brigade if they can reach it below 4th Brigade.
All right.
Hi.
I was listening in.
What was it called? Second.
Sorry about that. I was
No, you're good, man. It was probably 2nd Brigade, considering there's 1st, 3rd, and 4th, but no, 2nd.
yeah, second, yeah.
Okay, there we go. We
Yeah,
fixed it.
Z is my push to talk
AJ.
button, so
Okay.
These guys are doing a bayonet charge, James.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think these guys are about to break, but we'll roll for it. Yep, that would be broken.
No unit can go down to 0 disruption, right? Once they've gotten it.
Yeah, actually they should go back to 2 at the minimum.
Okay.
Not of 1. Alright, so 2nd Grenadiers broke. 1st Brigade broke. 2nd Brigade's about to break. Yep. Oh, Cavalry's recovering. I'll start doing that. 5, 6, 6, 5. I'll do maybe 2 more turns. Oh, cat time. Forgot about the cat. Something interesting. Come on. 8. Roll over and crush a nearby unit. Okay. So
What, the supply wagon?
Yeah.
let's set some supply wagons on fire. That's fun.
I like how, despite all of this, seeing a 1/4 mile tall cat, everyone's just continuing to fight.
Yeah.
Like, this wouldn't be like an oh fuck sort of situation. Like, this is the end of days.
Yeah, nobody's been like, shoot the cat. That's my surprise. Is nobody's been, oh, I have a cannon.
Alright, let them know there's a big explosion as this cat rolls over some gunpowder supply wagons.
And then it jumps in the air with fright because it's startled.
Yeah, should we switch to startled cat? Where'd startled cat go?
It's a startled cat.
Meow.
That's beautiful. Meow.
Oh, too big. Smaller. What happened?
do we let the players know the explosion was caused by the cat, or
Only if they can see it.
Absolutely.
okay?
Well, it's a 1/4 mile tall cat. I feel like most people can see it and then hear an explosion from the direction of the cat and probably put 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
You also have an earth-shattering meow as well.
Your chest
You
resonates.
cannot give verbal orders for the next hour as a result because everyone's deaf.
Blood pours from all of your hole. No. Huh.
Alright, 3:30.
Good to take screenshots then.
I thought you said 2:30, and I thought I was losing my mind for a second there. We're good.
What is the current time of the battle?
15:30.
15:30.
15:30. Thanks.
Where's Swense at now?
He is east all the way.
With Bob?
He co-located with Bob. I was putting his screenshot in. Oh, wrong channel.
Does Nick get any reports from his hussars that he sent southwards to chase the enemy.
Yeah, I guess let him know that the enemy is fleeing to Awal.
Okay.
Screenshot, and I'm gonna go get some.
All right, matey. So
No.
you shift back north a little bit. You're now at the edge of the town of Weinar. To the east, you can see 2nd Division in a heavy fight that looks like they're losing. To the southwest, the enemy remains stationary. You hear a large explosion further to the east. You don't know what from.
I can likely assume that's bad news, but I can't be for sure. The best that I can do, the best move, is that I can send it. Okay, so I have the 1st Light Division in my artillery. I have that hold and entrench, and then 2nd Light, I send to threaten the HQ of Della. And I do that along with the Dragoons, so that should be both the 2nd Light Brigade and the Dragoon Brigade, because I still see the Dragoons hanging around. Don't immediately attack, but get in position to attack, and that if they attack back, counter. If the enemy, to the southwest, starts going at my 1st Light Division and my artillery, let them get somewhat close before firing with the artillery. That's probably the best move I can make right now.
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you. Alright, Tubaleki, you join the 1st Grenadiers as they move forward. Standing right behind the line, you encourage the men. They bring the enemy under fire, and are joined by the artillery, so the enemy's taking a lot of casualties. Looks to be in poor shape. To the south, the light infantry join the fight. To the west, you can see elements of 2nd Division also charging in on the enemy's northern flank. But to the east, the cat has rolled over and smothered some of your supply wagons, or some of the supply wagons there.
Okay.
It crushed one wagon in particular filled with gunpowder, and that powder exploded, causing the cat to leap high into the air and come crashing down with a earthquake-like landing on the ground. It's a bit startled.
Oh.
What are your orders?
Okay. Well, that's pretty incredible. I'm gonna keep up the attack. The hussars should exploit weakness and capture enemy commanders if they can.
Okay.
After exploiting weakness. We're gonna keep pressing forward, and I'm gonna pray to God that our guns don't get mauled by a cat.
Got it. Thank you. Chinleaf, it's mostly bad news. The 1st Brigade gets charged by the bayonet by the enemy. They're already taking heavy fire from almost all directions, or from south and west, and so they break under the fire and turn and run. The 3rd Brigade has gone in and broken the enemy 2nd Grenadiers. The 4th Brigade's also going in against enemy Grenadiers. Your troops to the north are recovering near Genstein, they report. You hear lots of fighting, mostly to the east, and there's a sound of a large explosion in that direction, though you don't know what from. That's it.
Okay. I'll move to the 3rd Brigade and manhandle them to retreat towards Badonitz, since this position is absolutely abhorrent. The artillery will stay here and give us covering fire. That's all we can do now. Just switch to canister shot and just start pumping everything in they have into the 3rd Brigade of the enemy.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Huge pile up over on the west side. Looks like a
Yeah, traffic jam.
it's a party now. Is the cat just being exploded right now?
Let's roll for the cat.
Cat time.
6. Eat the nearest courier. Another one.
Another brave courier.
Let's roll again. It's too late for courier eating.
James, how long does it take to get line formation back into column?
In real life, it's like a couple minutes.
Okay, so they should be pretty much moving a mile if you know the orders are to get into column and march, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question: is the blue umpire for the cavalry that was chasing XDX's group here?
Me? Want to go?
Yeah. So did the second hussars continue to pursue?
Okay.
Did they?
Sorry. He didn't specify.
I think they'd stop and scout. I don't think they'd charge in against that much.
Okay.
The width of this would only one unit be able to engage that hussar unit, correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Nero, did you take the orders for Navy Tuna, or should I do that?
Yeah, sorry, I was just doing something. Yeah, are you able to do that really quick?
I can do it, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Here, I just gotta head to the bathroom really quick whilst I got the chance.
I'm not doing anything if anyone needs Swense just co-located. Same as last.
Okay. Bob wants to be with Swense at the front of his column.
Okay. Yeah, Swense is just co-locating with Bob, so here we go. Whee.
Have them on the road, yeah. They want to go as fast as possible.
Get a good view of the wreckage. It's 4:30? 4. I just
4 o'clock now.
I think it's 4:30.
Shit.
Are they marching down the road now? Bob's.
I've already marched them down the road.
Are they? They're formed in line facing south.
They are in columns. They want to go as fast as possible.
Okay, then
So that probably meant in columns.
yeah. It was the last
Okay.
turn. It really doesn't matter that much.
Okay.
Who are we missing? Kermit.
Okay, I'm back.
So, let's see. Red's breaking here. They do have one reserve. Blue's breaking here. This side's about even. That guy's fresh.
Are we calling it here?
Yeah, I'm just deciding who won. I think blue would still has the advantage.
Minor blue victory, you thinking?
Yeah. I was waiting for the last umpires to show up.
James, are these dragoons engaging?
They were not yet, although if these attacked, then yes.
Yeah, they will.
Okay. That's the only thing I haven't rolled for.
Alright.
Looks like the blues have a number advantage.
Yes, they have a whole extra division.
Yeah, they
like,
started
at
with
least,
one, so.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Did you roll for this artillery?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Alright, let's bring everyone to the lobby.
Oh, it's over. I was gonna feed the cat.
Okay. What was this game?
Alright, everyone, please mute yourselves.
I didn't get to see the cat once.
Bummer. Please mute yourselves. Everyone will have a chance to talk. So welcome to the post-game debrief. We had quite a large game, which was surprising. Lots of new players and new umpires, so that was fun. And despite the high number of new players and new umpires, I think it went pretty well, actually, so I'm really happy. So for those who haven't done this before, what we'll do is hear from all the umpires first. I'll do a synopsis of what happened. We'll hear from the umpires, and then all the players will get a chance to share their experience. But before I show anything, I want to ask the CICs how they think they're doing. So we'll start with Slock, General Slock. How do you think it's going?
I think we're doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure our northern side is probably in danger, but I think we're pretty confident in our defense of Oberpersnitz. And I think our cavalry commander XDX definitely did some damage in the rear of the enemy lines, and I'm feeling pretty confident in our situation.
All right. Swense?
Well, I'm not feeling great. I feel like my cat personally victimized me on multiple occasions. Very fascinating. I can't wait to hear how that mechanic worked. Yeah, I don't think things are going great. Although, if something miraculous got pulled off in the north, maybe we have a chance. I don't know. But I don't think so.
Alright, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully everyone can see it. Yeah, so as promised, this was the game of Swense's cat. So early on, or basically from the beginning, Swense's cat showed up and wreaked havoc on the battlefield. Sometimes sitting on units, sometimes eating couriers, sometimes scratching through the terrain. sometimes rolling over and crushing things. So that was kind of fun, disruptive mechanic. Here's the cute little kitty right now sitting on some artillery. So red started from basically behind this position, and blue had the option to where'd the main roads go? Come from here, I think, and here, but they chose to entirely come through here. So they had a long column heading that way, and then it split in the middle with some of it coming this way. So they didn't utilize that southern route at all, which was interesting. I'm curious why that decision was made. Swense will have to say why. The other thing that's curious, I think, is the cavalry were put pretty far back in the column, and I'd say that's atypical, so I'm curious why that decision was made too. But anyway, that was deployment, and so blue very quickly, coming down this road here, saw red, which was, they didn't stay behind where they were, they kind of moved out, so red moved here. I had Matey, and he basically squared off with Yeet the whole game, so both of them were light infantry divisions, so they basically faced off against each other here for a couple hours, and then disengaged, and then stared at each other for the most part for the rest of the battle. I also had Chinleaf and then Tubaleki. So Chinleaf made some... He was following behind Matey, and then he came south for a little bit, deployed some artillery, and then came north and west, and then ended up fighting here. At the end of the battle, Chinleaf's division's pretty much entirely routed, unfortunately for him. Matey's still in good condition, holding the far left flank, or right flank of blue. The cat, I don't know if it had, I think it was pretty evenly disruptive to both teams. It ate a couple couriers on both sides, just rolled over a few times. It did roll over on some supply wagons here at the end and blow up that. There was a huge cavalry ambush here, so in the south, XDX came up around this way, I think, more or less, was hiding behind this ridge here, and then as Nick's cavalry was on the road, they charged into them on the flank, which was pretty well executed. I think they're outnumbered a little bit by cavalry, but with the charge, they're able to take out the cuirassiers, send them running, destroy some wagons, destroy some artillery. But then in the follow-up fight, they got routed in turn, so now they're recovering here in the south at Alwal. But cavalry on both sides pretty well spent from that fighting. Bob's completely fresh, so I feel bad for Bob because he mostly had marching simulator. But his fresh division is the reason why I'm calling it a semi-blue, moderate blue victory. Because here in the middle, Tubaleki is leading a major attack at Oberposternitz, and the line is breaking across the board. There is 4th Brigade here who's fresh and can hold as a rear guard, at least for a little bit. But when Bob's fresh division comes in, that'll break as well. And so despite... It's a bit of a mixed bag, because Delta's breaking through here in the center, while the right here, I guess Skullgun's 5th is breaking on the right with a fresh division coming in. So I think still not super clear, but that fresh division I think is enough to turn the tide that red will be pushed back. So that's what I'm calling. And I think that's it for my understanding of the overview. So we'll hear from all the umpires. First of all, I want to recognize, I think Bantugador, Casey, Maurice, and Romulus were all brand new umpires, and they did great. Romulus handled the dispatches for us, and that was huge. It's always nice when I don't have to deal with that. And then Casey and Maurice, had players that they were with, and Bantugador, so all well done on their part. So let's hear first from umpire Bantugador, his experience.
Okay, I was the umpire for Nick's and Bob's orders. They were basically in the rear of the blue army, and Bob had a lot of marching to do. I mean, he was even a little, getting a little bored as well. Nick, I think, had a lot of retreating to do, but I would say XDX's cavalry maneuver down south, that was pretty good, hiding his cavalry behind the ridge, and took the blue divisions completely by surprise. I mean, knocked out the cuirassiers pretty much for the rest of the battle, and I think the blue cavalry could have kept some scouts up ahead to, even on the flanks to maybe get a glimpse of the battlefield a little more, because otherwise I felt they were not being utilized to their fullest extent. Otherwise, I think he made some pretty good decisions there. That I think it was first and second hussars of his that he first sent to the west, and then he got ambushed, and he called them back. That saved his division, and then he pursued them as well. So well played from him. Bob didn't really see much action, so the little bit that he did see, I think he did quite well, and I think his division will soon prevail over the red divisions that are attacking his own allies there. So overall, a pretty good game from both of these players. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Umpire Casey.
Hi. Good game, everyone. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone just everyone's hard work. I was taking orders for Swense. We came down the main road going west. I think like the second turn we were splitting down this road, and umpire James, the organizer, said we're gonna have to hear from Swense. They said east. I think we meant west. We'll hear from them. But yeah, I think either way, the way that it was working out, we would have made the same time. I'm not sure. I've only done a different rule set before. We made down this road about halfway as soon as we were engaging the dragoons with the infantry. I think the cat was in play, made a crater. I think by then the horse artillery had started their ambush and chased Nick up, I think, north. So once he had co-located, seen what's going on more west, and started east and started coming back over. I think, I don't know, it was a lot of fun just reading everyone's reports and all the cat memes. It was really fun. That's all. I think all I have to say.
All right.
Thanks.
Umpire Kermit.
All right. I had Delta and Yeet, who were the Reds' left flanks. Both players, I think this is their first Kriegspiel game on the server, maybe even, I know it's Yeet's first live game, I believe. And they both did very well. They were aggressive when they needed to be. They were also, another important thing is they were both pretty cautious. They were very aware of the scope of their job and that they were fairly independent, didn't need to get overextended. Delta was constantly worried about his flanks, which is a very good thing to worry about when you're attacking and there's dragoons potentially in your rear. I also handled some of the combat and got to see some of the worst luck I think I've seen in a Kriegspiel, at least in a while. I'm sorry, Blue, but you guys had some terrible marksmanship throughout the game. I think a solid 2 out of every 5 volleys that you fired missed. It was missed completely, and that was pretty sad. But considering that Blue it started with a complete an entire extra division compared to Red, I think both teams handled things pretty well, and I'm sorry for Bob that he had to spend all day marching.
This is CIC's fault for doing a big long column instead of doing the 2. All right, Umpire Maurice.
Hi there. I took orders for Skullgun and later in the game for Slock. So Skullgun came through unter Patronits. Nobody cares about that now because battle was in over Patronits. There was just movement down this road here. There was a half-hour turn where he waited and then started marching again. And unfortunately, the second division, Navy Tunas division, and they arrived basically at the same time at Oberpolchonitz, and there was a little bit of a congestion, and also a little bit of a gap towards the left side. I think that would have been the first division, Delta's first, I guess. So there was this ominous bulge just north of the road and to the west of Oberpolchonitz, and there was some good fighting there, but ultimately the line broke. Although I have to say I didn't expect it to break it in on the eastern side. I thought it would break in the north, so I was a little bit surprised by the die rolls in the end here. But yeah, overall good game. I had pretty much fun all the time. I did not think that umpiring would be that stressful. So thank you for all involved, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you. All right, umpire Nero.
Hi. My umpire experience was pretty suspenseful. I was umpiring for. I keep forgetting off the top of my head. Let me see it here. 2nd Brigade, which was Navy and XDX. Navy had an interesting experience moving up through the woods and then coming out into a whole bunch of enemies, and then eventually a giant cat, which, from what I understand, he didn't take as literally, which is pretty comical. And in terms of XDX's little expedition down there, it was pretty suspenseful once he got to this situation, and it took a lot of careful positioning to ensure that his attack was not seen before it, because it took about I think about an hour and a bit to actually set up the charge before it went through. So it was tense, as Blue had a couple opportunities, or could have just by luck stumbled across it sooner and messed it up, so to speak. So it was pretty entertaining.
All right. Finally, umpire Romulus, who handled the dispatches. I don't know if there are any particular dispatches that you found funny if you were reading through them.
No, I wasn't really reading through them.
Okay, no worries.
But it was fun. I had some cat emojis, so that was good.
All right, let's hear from the players. I'm just going to go down the list, top to bottom. So we'll start with Bob, who wins our Marching Simulator award. Bob?
Well, as said, most of the battle was me marching. Now, in part, that's because of the column formation we took, according to our CIC, but I wouldn't put blame on the CIC. I think that was just some miscommunication as to the scale of the battle. But I do want to say one thing. Although I got marching sim, so I don't see what exactly happened most of the battle, I do want to say that, personally, I believe XDX is the MVP of this battle, because when I was just marching along the road, I had no clue what was going on. I had some reports that one dispatch from Swense, that there was battle at Upper... I cannot pronounce that place. Upper Cernets, whatever. So I was ordered to continue down the road. And I'm just minding my own business, continuing down the road with the cav in front of us, and then suddenly, boom, I see like the largest cav charge, and one of the most brutal in a 30-minute turn I've ever seen just happened right in front of me as I'm stuck at GR Nelswitz. I immediately deploy in order to try to counter that, and it automatically retreats south. And then I'm stuck in a dilemma. That dilemma delays me by another hour and a half, 2 hours. How long did it delay me by? I started...
Just an hour.
The cav attack was at 2 p.m., I was there for... Yeah, I was there stuck for an hour and a half, delayed, not knowing what to do, because I was not receiving a single dispatch from anyone, or anything. So I thought that that maybe the battle was along the southern ridge, and that Red deployed, And I didn't want to continue marching down the road because I saw how savaged Nick got. So I was worried infantry marching in column along a road with Cav to the south. That's a disaster waiting to happen, and I didn't want to see what happened to my supply. So I sort of just sat there until, for most of the battle, probing south, trying to make sure I'm okay continuing west, afraid what XDX Cav could do, and XDX, thus by that Cav attack, both essentially destroyed Nick and delayed me long enough for the entire rest of the Red Army to do their job. So well done. And thanks to all the umpires for doing your great work as always.
Yep. I don't know. I know the cat ate 2 blue couriers, so maybe some of them ones coming your way got eaten, and that's why you didn't get as many dispatches. I don't know. All right, Delta.
Hi. So, yeah, I was trying to like be cautious and try to like push slowly because like I think I had no idea like entire right so much brigades were like on my right. I thought like at least like 5 of them will be on my left also, and I was like very scared because what if like that they're coming from my left also, and yeah, I I was like at the last I was trying to push for the supply, and I think I would have gotten it like because that their army was like rotating and stuff, and yeah, that's I think that's how I think.
Okay. Thank you. General Slock?
So our general plan was to deploy along that front. We wanted to be able to have, with those 2 roads that blue were marked that they could approach from, we wanted to be able to have some force able to attack them from the flank. And I think the plan went really well. With the only thing that I think went wrong, which is kind of ironic, is the fact that the cavalry were deployed so far back on the blue force. I was really hoping that we could, exactly what Bob was saying, I was really hoping that we could hit the reserve column of infantry coming into the battle, but I've really got to give props to XDX on this, that he was able to execute that attack and keep the blue division out of the fight for so long. And I really got to give credit to my commanders, especially Delta and Yeet, for being their first time playing. They held their lines, they knew their objectives. Delta, you really saved the center there with your attack. I mean, you can see that we're no longer in danger of being outflanked. We can at least pull back from Oberpressnitz. Even regardless if that division is fresh and coming on, we've got plenty of room to pull back, maybe refuse our lines, and they were kept out of the fight the entire time. So I'm really impressed with all the players, even though we had Delta came on like last second right before the game. And I've got to give credit to the new umpires and new players all around. This was definitely a fun game, and it was also fun feeding the cat and sacrificing our hats and coats to satisfy the cat's cravings for entertainment for a couple turns.
All right. Matey.
Okay. So I started the match, and like due to our plans, I was supposed to start just marching down the road, and then the cat just appeared right in front of me, and it just smacked my dragoon like a bit to the north. So I realized, okay, this is what's going to happen. So like I was lucky that the dragoons weren't actually hurt. So I basically just had my troops move north. And what I wanted to do is that I first wanted to avoid the cat if it could hurt the enemy while I was doing an attack. Ideally, that would be perfect. And then after I got that done, and after I saw the cat, start hurting the enemy, like it took out a dragoon or something, I tried to attack their north, though it didn't go as well as I had hoped. Like, I saw that one of our dragoons was, somewhat disorganized, so I sent my dragoons in, one of my infantry in the center. I had my artillery fire, and then I had like my northern wing try to, hit them from north. But unfortunately, it didn't go that well. So the next priority, became to not overextend and not to make it a total disaster. So I retreated, and then once I saw that my ally was in danger, I tried, after regrouping and refreshing my men, I wanted to kind of go at the back of that enemy right there. But by the time that happened, the match was over.
All right, thank you.
Overall, I think it was a really fun match. I was expecting some umpire trickery, but I wasn't expecting the cat. But once I saw the cat, I knew what it meant. I knew that it was going to cause a lot of havoc for both sides. So the best thing to do would be to get out of its way.
I did advertise that there was a cat involved, so.
Yeah, I saw I knew the title of a match, Swansea's Cat, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I saw, okay, is it a literal cat, or are you just using it as a way to kind of disorganize the troops? Like, not literally, but kind of like, because my first Kriegspiel match, like, despite specific orders, I had one column of troops go in the exact opposite direction as ordered. So, I'm always cautious at this point.
Yep. All right, Navy Tuna.
Hey, so my course of battle was basically setting up to block the southern main road when I was informed by my COC that the attack was on the northern main road. I had to march through the crossroads at the east, west of the woods. I did end up cutting off the grenadiers unintentionally. That was primarily due to me rushing to get into the town after reports of blue cavalry being spotted by the lead of my column. I was being shelled by the Blue Army artillery and the horse artillery of either their 2nd Light Division or their cavalry division. I'm not entirely sure. And then basically I just served as a buffer / bulwark. The only real point where I was concerned was when Blue's Dragoons were right next to my headquarters. They had a good opportunity to charge down my 4th Brigade. I took the risk to move them to higher ground to secure my headquarters, and there were no conditional orders for the Dragoons to charge me, so I got off lucky there. Otherwise, the game was fairly simple and slow. My division focused on just forming a line to guard our right flank, and it generally succeeded in that. Even though my front brigades are going to break, 4th Brigade is going to be able to cover their route. So I'm happy with how the course of battle went.
Alright. Nick, the nuker.
Right, so my first few turns were also a marching simulator, and then an entire enemy cavalry div crashed into me. Luckily, I was able to drive them off, and those units that deployed over to the west, it was completely by coincidence that the turn they chose to charge me was the same turn I ordered my troops to start deploying to the west. So luckily 2 of them managed to get out over there. So then I turned them around and counterattacked and managed to drive them off. And then I spent the rest of the game figuratively herding cats from my own cavalry. Yeah, overall, I think it was a good game. Thanks of course to the Empire for hosting. It was a very interesting concept. I think I saw the cat all of once, and it was right next to my headquarters, and I was like, all right, I'm getting away from that cat because I'd seen what it could do.
Alright, Skolgan.
Oh, so as was stated by the umpire, I did spend a couple turns waiting in onto poster nets. I believe I misunderstood the line that we were ordered to defend. But I was just dispatched up to over poster nets pretty soon. But I probably should have asked when I saw everybody, or when I saw the brigade to my north going past me, and should have known something was up. But we got up there. I reinforced Navy Tuna's left. Got some artillery fire in. At that point, I was co-located with the CIC, so I had a lot of coaching after that. And let's see, Second Grenadiers. I want to say they did a lot of assault columning on their own. And we just kind of ordered them to, keep doing that. The artillery made a pretty good showing of themselves before they were taken out of the fight. And we were pretty confident about First Grenadiers staying in the fight, but it looks like that didn't happen at the final turn. This is my first live game, and I'm fairly fresh to IKS, so this is a lot of fun. Pretty happy with how I did. Certainly, trying to take some improvement into account. Also, personally, kind of stopped worrying about my right flank. So to the south, once the cat, tore the gash in the terrain there. Let's see. Certainly curious about the mechanics behind the cat. My assumption was that Swense had constructed a physical map, for a cat, but I don't think that's the case. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for all the umpires. Thanks for my team.
All right, thank you. Swense?
I think I said at one point to someone on my team that, yeah, it's my cat, but no, I don't control the cat. And, that's true in my regular life. It's also true here. I don't control this cat. I can't control this cat. So I don't know. In fact, I thought that the cat wreaked a lot of havoc on me when it tore that gash right where I wanted the attack. The logic behind the northern approach and the sort of what I was envisioning is two parallel northern columns moving down from I think it's Tausim and Mochow towards Prague, going down in parallel. I imagined that they'd be able to mutually support each other going down, in that direction, and then also that the that whole plateau, and I thought that middle area was a lot more impassable, I guess, than it was. Those cliffs, or at least I read them as cliffs. Honestly, I think they might actually just be hills. But I don't know. Looking at the map, I made a common error throughout history, which is just reading it one way when I think in reality it was a different one, and it was sort of fortunate and amazing coincidence that we were able to have our cavalry back there at the time we did, and in part that was also due to the gash having slowed down my advance and left the cavalry back there. So the cat giveth and the cat taketh away. Now I'm truly rambling. All right. Thanks for another fun game, umpire team. It was great.
Thank you. Dumaleki?
I joined late. I was very naughty, but I came back. I saw action. I went into the action, and it looked like it turned out okay. I got to see a really wonderful screenshot, I guess a report of the cat rolling through my back line and my supply wagons and my gunpowder wagons and exploding stuff. That was really cool. That was probably my favorite screenshot I've gotten throughout all of IKS. Very cute cat. I was very happy I was able to see it. And even happier we won. Yeah. That's all.
All right, thank you. XDX?
So, I kind of had Marching Simulator for the first half of the game, and had I done a little more scouting, I definitely would have rethought my cavalry charge a little bit. Because I could hear artillery guns already firing off, and I couldn't think of a CIC insane enough to try and march to battle in one single huge long column. Thought it would be safe, especially when I saw Swense himself and another commander sitting, less than a mile away from the ridge. I thought that this was it. I was going to capture Swense. I was going to hold him at gunpoint and make him give me favors in the games he umpired. But no, instead I ran directly into, three cuirassiers against. I only had two. But I'm very glad it worked out the way it did in the end. I think it had a very disproportionate effect on the game for what I did. Like, even just the cavalry I took out. There's 4 cavalry that was actually knocked out of the fighting. 2 that have been kind of sitting around in the valley there where I was for the rest of the game, and then another 1 that went all the way down south with me, which is already just 7 cavalry alone compared to the 5 that I still have, ready to do whatever with. Let alone the effect on the slowed down brigade. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. Would have liked to have managed to get the CIC though. That would have been a very fun turn of events. But we can't all get what we want. Had a lot of fun. Thank you to the umpires, especially the new ones like Nero running things. If I were to do this again, if I were to change anything, I'm not quite sure what I would change because it did have a positive effect on the battle in the end. Even if I maybe made a mistake in not scouting enough, I was blocked by my own ridge, funnily enough, and seeing the entire battalion coming up from my east. But I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
As I said, I honestly believe you were the MVP.
Thank you, Bob.
All right,
I will second that.
Last but not least, we got Yeet.
So I was in the northern part of the map. My orders were essentially prevent any advance from the north. What I didn't expect to see was a mirror image of my own forces attacking me. So at that point in time, I felt that if my orders were to defend and hold that point, prevent the north from getting flanked. So there was no point in engaging or advancing on them. So I held my ground and essentially let the artillery go ham. I don't really know what else happened in the western side. Everything's on fire, so that's fun. My thought process was to kill this guy and flank and join in the rest of the battle. Which, yeah, I was hoping my dragoons could help me knock out the 3rd Division commander. Then I can win the small individual battles and I can move on to help support the larger battle on the right. That was my plan. Thank you all the umpires for helping to make this happen. This is my first game with this server, and this is technically my second live game. The first game I was a 2IC that came in late, but that's not relevant. I had quite a lot of fun. Yeah, when I saw the cat, I was like, oh, you mean a literal cat? I thought Swen's cat was the name of the area or something. And yeah, when it set on my dragoons, I was like, I didn't expect it to do things. But all in all, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for this game today.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to everyone, especially all the new people, for joining and playing. I'm going to end the recording here, and you are welcome